Hey, this is Courtney Starhart Hale here in the studio today. I want to share a little bit with you about the process of making silk paintings, because the process for making a painting is a lot like the process for changing your life and changing your mind. It's all about getting in the flow and having set the stage already for success. Down here, you can see the flower of life pattern that I use as the framework for basically all of my paintings. Nobody knows what the bones of the paintings look like, and I rarely talk about it, but anyone who understands sacred geometry will understand that there is something like a structural skeleton framework behind all of the paintings. Because of the way the lines move, because of the places where the circles overlap. In these earlier ones, you can see the Vesica Pisces really clearly. You can see the flower of life patterns. Here is an azulejo tile. So once I make a template or a pattern, then I can reuse it again. So that one is a pattern that I had used before. This one here is another azulejo. I really love tiles and geometry. And this is a very special tile that I found on my first trip to New Mexico as we were building a kiva. So, all right, let me get you started with the process here. This right here is silk. Okay. It's transparent, so I'm able to actually paint on it, and it's still letting light come through. When you dye it with a special kind of paint, then you can have a stained glass window effect. So right here, you can see the light passing through this piece. Well, it's a canvas actually, okay? And it's that thin that you can actually see something behind it. So this one has light coming through, natural light, and that's what I used for years until these wonderful LED lights came out. LED lights actually got so tiny that you can put them into a frame without too much trouble. So there you go. It also comes with the possibility of a remote control, like so. And there you go. Off, on, dimmer, brighter. So all of these have had a template that I draw before and I trace on there and paint. Okay. And then around the edges you can see stamping. So that's actually a linoleum stamp that I've carved and repeated the pattern on there. You can see the same type of thing happening here. This one is a distinctly Masonic piece, actually, for those of you who know the symbolic language. And there's a young woman crossing a tiled carpet to get up into the tree of life, where at the top there are birds and the eye of God. And it's a profoundly symbolic painting if you know how to read it. Anyway, so I'm going to start doing monotypes. So I've got this glass pane here, and instead of painting onto the silk directly, I'm actually going to paint onto this glass pane, and then I'm going to place this on top of it, and I'm going to allow that imprint of the paint to get onto the silk, and then I'm going to start to work it with these beautiful pieces over here. Adding some gems and maybe some shells. Here's a little friend that we made when the kids were tiny. But down here you can see all these beautiful things, if the camera would get in focus. And there you go. This is the beginnings of a painting. So thank you for joining me to see this new style of painting. It's going to be different than this style up here or any of the ones before. And I can't wait. So talk to you soon.